Just put Cameron in a shot, surrounded him with cute puppies, and wrote the name of the product along the bottom. Every female in the country would be lining up to buy them, whether they had a pet pooch or not. If genetic scientists found a way to combine the DNA of Orlando Bloom and Channing Tatum, the prototype would look something like Cameron. Razor-sharp cheekbones, a thoroughly masculine jawline, and dark eyes so intense that only the fact that he was always laughing kept him from looking like a brooding yet undeniably attractive serial killer. "I am," she admitted. "It'll be fine, though. Great. Sun, sea, and apparently the ship is gorgeous. I know I'm really lucky to be going." There was a tone of conviction that didn't necessarily reflect how she was feeling. "Wow, that's amazing," Cameron whistled. "You managed to say all that while chewing your bottom lip." Oh no, was I doing it again? She delved into her drawer for Vaseline and smeared it on. I swear to God, every nerve-wracking event I've ever been to started with me showing up with lips that look like they've spent 10 minutes in a blender. At my wedding, my gob rivaled Angelina Jolie's, and not in a good way. Right on cue, Cameron laughed. Again, this level of jolly positivity was not normal in humanity. He was a little slice of levity, sent down by the gods to make the office a happier place. Or perhaps he was just secretly drinking from a bottle of something strong under his desk. If it was the latter, she could be doing with a quick slug herself right about now. Of course, she could put her foot down and flatly refuse to go along with the group excursion idea, but how petulant would that look? It was Drew's birthday, the big 5-0, and he wanted all his family around him. Wasn't his attitude to his responsibilities one of the things that had attracted her to him in the first place? For the sake of cheering herself up, she mentally went along with this notion and disregarded the truth. What had actually attracted her to him in the first place was that he was the most charismatic man she had ever encountered, so sure of himself and sharp and witty. 5 years ago, he'd been a guest lecturer in her final year at college, and he'd given a talk on the future of the newspaper industry. Despite his candid revelation that it was a declining media sector, being superseded by the internet and 24-hour news channels, by the time he'd stepped off the stage that day, there were 200 students contemplating changing their course from marketing to journalism. It wasn't the brown hair with the grey flecks that gave him an air of rugged handsomeness, or the gym-built wide shoulders, or the crinkly green eyes that shot mischief across the room. Drew Gold had a presence, a confidence, and a memory for faces that swept her off her feet when they bumped into each other at a charity event a couple of years later. He'd overlooked her waitress outfit and spoke to her like she was the only woman in the room. Later, she'd discover that was a talent he'd cultivated through years of doorstep interviews, networking, and later mingling with the good and the great, while keeping a newsroom of jaded, disgruntled hacks on his side. After chatting to him for half an hour that night, she knew he was special. The age difference didn't matter, nor did the job that was paying a $5 an hour that she needed to supplement the internship she had just landed at one of Glasgow's swankiest marketing companies. He asked her to leave with him, and she dropped her tray at the door an hour before her shift officially ended. They spent the next 8 hours in an all-night coffee shop, and married 6 weeks later. The extended family was a slightly unwanted gift that came with the ceremony. Didn't every bride get a bread maker, a set of salad tongs, 2 ex-wives, and an instant family? "So, what are you going to do?" Cameron asked, taking a large bite out of an apple Danish he'd liberated from a brown paper bag. Tess gently prized a portrait of a spaniel from under his right buttock as she contemplated the question. Sometimes she wondered what it would be like to have a normal relationship. Girl meets boy without 2 ex-wives. They court, get engaged, get married, have children. Ouch, sore subject. Well practiced in the art of the swift rebound, she grinned and injected some much-needed frivolity into the situation. "I don't know. What would your 6-foot Amazonian, very smart lawyer girlfriend do in my shoes? Apart from moan about the fact that the shoes were too small, obviously." "She dumped me." Cameron made a "what can you do" gesture. "No." "Sadly, yes. Said I wasn't focused enough. She needed someone to get on board and stay on message. and develop a